folks who are better off being employed should not try being self-employed. And folks who are better off being self-employed will be miserable in a 9 to 5. Both of you will be working poolside.
This is the thing. This is why I'm not...
Unquestionably.
I feel like we're going to be working the entire time.
You know what's cool about a 9 to 5? I won't be working.
The screen.
You know you're married to a realtor when... Or it's a...
We're going off-roading with real estate, taking it out of the Tahoe and bringing in backup. Welcome to Under Contract Taking Backup.
We're back with Under Contract Taking Backup. We're doing something a little different. We're not just going off. We're going off-roading with this one. We have 2 backup guests, 2 very special backup guests, important guests, 2 of our biggest fans, 2 of our biggest hype mans, the ones that actually had this crazy idea to begin with. Without further ado, as I look at them, let us introduce Chelsey.
My husband, Mr. Justin Smith.
And my husband, Rordan Hart.
Thanks for joining us.
I feel like, can we insert applause?
You're welcome.
I feel like,
Yeah, we can insert applause.
right,
Like the old-fashioned, applause from like the old shows.
With
Yes.
big applause sign.
You guys can't see it. There's a big
hates it.
applause sign out there.
Chelsey hates it.
Thanks for having us on. This
Yeah, absolutely.
We've had a lot of fun watching the 2 of you put this together, and I don't remember what the exact moment that Justin and I, probably after
Most of these moments we don't remember.
a couple of high noons, might have suggested that the 2 of you talk real estate nonstop. You should record your conversations.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure it was around the kitchen island, and it was after yet another real estate conversation
100%.
where I probably said something, write that down. I probably said something like, yes, write that down. But the reason you guys are here is because you were the originators of this idea, and you are our biggest supporters behind the scenes. So when it comes to real estate, not many people know this, but it takes a village, kind of like to raise a family. It takes a village. Well, real estate takes a village, and any realtors out there can agree that they know that. So this being our 11th recording, if you are watching and you've made it this far, just like we've made it this far to our 11th episode, you're basically committed at this point. So why don't you commit and hit that subscribe button for us? Show us some love, just like we love you out there. And we love doing this. So we would appreciate your subscription. You are our husbands, our biggest supporters, hype man, merch man, but you are more than that. You are the mayor. You are, what else? You're the finance guy.
Does he need anything
He's
else?
the mayor.
He's the mayor.
You're the finance guy behind the scenes. I mean,
Yeah, so I am the mayor here in Trumansburg. Trumansburg's my hometown. It is honestly, it's an honor and a privilege to be mayor of your hometown. Not something I ever in a million years expected would happen. But it's interesting work. I'm about to start my 3rd term as mayor. I've been in local government for almost 20 years now, which seems like an eternity and 5 minutes all at the same time.
kind of like how long we've been married.
Exactly. We were married less than 18 months when I first got elected locally. Both of our boys don't know me not to be participating in local government. So that's interesting.
That's a long time.
I'm also a financial advisor, so that helps pay the bills. Being mayor doesn't pay any bills, at least
I tell you, it's really handy when it comes to real estate when you have somebody that knows finances and knows how to manage money, because real estate is cyclical with money.
Roller coaster is
that's a great way. Yeah, it's a roller coaster. Like, it's feast or famine, right? It's the slinky effect. Like, it's either...
It is feast and famine. It's not feast or. It is either.
just not at the same time.
Right. Yeah. So if you have somebody that knows how to manage that, like golden. So I got the golden ticket. Sorry.
Well, it's also something that you and I have helped your agents, and it's something that we've talked about with the agents in your brokerage, how to manage that roller coaster, how to manage that cycle. And we know a lot of self-employed folks who always feel that someday maybe they'll get off of that cyclical roller coaster, and after they've been in business for 15 or 20 years, they realize you never get off the roller coaster. We joke, we have contractor friends who are so busy that they can't keep up, and then that first week in January where they don't have any work to do, suddenly it's, oh my God, I'm never going to work again, and that cycle never ends. And we're both self-employed, so we both get to ride the roller coaster, which is a lot of fun. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, I can't imagine, and I know you can't either. I can't imagine working a 9 to 5 in a cubicle, and that's fine for the folks who that works for, but it wouldn't work for me to clock in, clock out, report to a desk.
Thanks, Rod.
I know, as we're rarely getting adjusted.
Beg for time off.
Sorry, does it?
It's but I say that on the other hand, I know someone who I did work for once who would never want to be self-employed.
Oh yeah.
They very much liked the structure of where to be, when to be there. They could plan their vacations every year. Mm-hmm. They could know what to expect. It created structure for their lives, and I remember having a conversation with him once, and he said, speaking of real estate, actually, mm-hmm. he was asking me what your day-to-day was like. This was 2009, 2010, right after you'd started in the industry as an active agent.
Well, they don't do anything. They're
we just open doors.
But he was in this particular conversation.
Like, it was a 5-second conversation. This is all they do.
he was asking me specifically about the income structure, and I explained what it was like, and he thought that was his idea of hell. Not knowing when your next paycheck was coming in, mm-hmm. not knowing how to manage that when you have 5 closings in a row and then none for 2 months, kind of thing. And I understood where he was coming from. He liked to be able to go to work, go home, leave work at work, not think about it at 10 o'clock at night when a client is texting you, that kind of thing.
Speaking of, Chelsey.
Well, how about 11 p.m. phone calls?
Yeah.
Justin said this. Did you get it?
I sent snaps on a regular basis.
Was at 10:37 p.m. Chelsea's on the phone on the couch.
So I think, I'm certainly not. I'm not saying that one is. I actually said this to your agents a couple of weeks ago when I did that workshop mm-hmm. for them. Folks who are better off being employed should not try being self-employed, mm-hmm. and folks who are better off being self-employed will be miserable in a 9 to 5. And I think finding for everyone, if anyone out there is looking for unsolicited advice, finding what works for you is the most important thing. Because if you try to do the other thing, you're just not going to be happy.
It's kind of like golf.
Ooh, I love this. We're going to go right into this.
We are.
How is it
because
like golf?
This is like our golf tournament crew too.
This is our core.
But self-employment is like you hit a really good shot and you know what to do. You know how to do it. Mm-hmm. And then you yank it the other way and you're
that
like,
damn hosel shank.
or you drain a 20-foot putt and you're like, yes, I know how to golf.
But you missed the 3-footer.
And then you miss the 3-footer.
Yeah.
Or you go in the pond 3 times. Like
100%. You know what? This is life.
This is life.
Golf is
life.
Yeah.
Golf is like being
Man, there's so many analogies that you can golf fits with.
100%.
Golf and poker. There's actually, so my background is actually in trading, and I know of a couple of very good traders who are also very good poker players.
But terrible golfers?
One of them is a decent golfer, the other one is terrible. But the analogy does hold up, right? Especially the more self-employed you are, the more it's like an individual sport. Mm-hmm. So we like to think of it sometimes as a team sport, but really it's not. If it's an individual sport and you are only as good as your last performance, you don't get paid if you don't perform. And I think a lot of those analogies actually do hold up. And if you can kind of relate the two together, then you can do very well. Mm-hmm. If you struggle without someone giving you structure, then it'll be very hard. There's a lot of good athletes. We watch a lot of sports podcasts, and we love our sports, although maybe we don't care who's playing in the big game when the Bills don't make it. But team sports are a completely different dynamic than individual sports. And I think being self-employed, and particularly being self-employed in real estate is definitely an individual sport.
There's no doubt.
You're the one here with the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
The rest
I
of us.
sure am. I would prefer not a 9 to 5. I would love to be self-employed. I would love for income to be based off of what I put in, and that's what I get out of it. I do have a small bone to pick with you.
Me?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You ready?
Just a small one?
So there's several episodes where car salesmen have been brought up.
No,
I said...
And and I think
Specifically used car sales.
I think
I
this
was
is
positive.
this is going to happen tonight. So here's the thing. So a couple episodes I've heard Lindsay throw a little shade on some used car salesmen, and that's okay.
I don't...
I appreciate that
I
you threw
don't
a
throw
little
shade.
shade.
The people compare realtors. I don't know why they think used car salesmen are like shady.
No, your specific was, I don't know why we are compared to used car salesmen, which was shade at used car salesmen.
Right. Who is throwing the shade at used car salesmen?
I don't know, but listen,
They.
based off your
Who's they?
episodes, I just wanted to bring this to light, and I hope that Phil maybe tunes into this. And I just want you to know that the business of real estate and the business of cars is very similar. The relationship building is
I know.
unbelievably important. Used cars, new cars, the purchase is the second biggest purchase that they'll ever make in their life, next to
Sometimes like 15
house purchase.
times, like Pat.
well,
Relationships, right?
yeah, it's all it's
How
all
many times
about
a week does he go into
relationships.
the dealership?
112 a
Exactly.
week.
Every time we go buy a car, where do we go?
Yeah, but I was listening to one of the episodes, and I was like, "Ooh, Lindsay's gonna get a little heat for this," and I just want you to know.
Okay.
There's a little heat being
All right,
thrown
I'll take it.
thrown your way.
I'll take
and
it.
the aspect of when you're talking about the biggest purchase of somebody's life, which you guys live in, the financing is a little more difficult than buying a car. Used car sales and new car sales is the second biggest purchase that anybody will ever make in their life. You are the first. So there is if we're keeping score, which we don't ever. But what I am saying is that there are a ton of similarities based off of even conversations. There have been times that I've chimed into Chelsea's conversations with her clients. It was like, we need to hang up the phone. Let's have a conversation, because there's avenues of which you can make this deal happen. If we go this avenue, I mean, what was the one? You're
gonna have to be very specific, honey.
No. There was one conversation, that me and you were like late night talking, and I was like, how about there's different avenues to make this happen. In the background of me being in car sales and doing finance manager work.
It's all people. Any kind of that's why I want to get rid of the word salesperson, because I don't
100%. It's relationship manager.
It's
is what it
interpersonal
is.
communications.
Yeah, 100%.
It's you're dealing with communications.
I just want to stick up for the used car salespeople in this world.
I want to stick up for them too.
good
New
ones.
car sales. Yeah, the good ones.
The good ones.
And I want you to know that,
Just like sticking up for the good realtors in this world.
yeah, 100%. Right?
agree with
There's
you.
bad car salespeople that people can throw under the carpet. There's terrible real estate agents that you can
Yes.
throw under the carpet that are not there for their people. They're just there for a paycheck.
Yes, and there's
right?
terrible insurance,
Sure.
life insurance salespeople. I'm thinking of
And financial advisors.
and financial
sure.
advisors.
In every industry, in every career, when you are working one-on-one with anybody, you are going to run into people who put in 110% and people who put in 25%. And it's just kind of weeding out those people.
Yeah, and there's the goal is to find that good person.
And you're going to find
in
it-
everything.
Yeah. And you're going to
everything.
find it in somebody that has a 9 to 5, or you're going to find it in somebody that has some
And you know
point.
what? As soon as you find that person, you're going to recommend that person
Yes.
to everybody. I can't tell you how many people I've sent to my doctor's office, my dentist, insurance wise, and literally you
Rordan handles our finances. We go to him for everything on the daily.
Yep.
I mean, I think anytime in any profession, anytime someone's compensation is incentivized by what they can sell to someone, you're going to find people whose primary motivation is to take advantage of that. And we hear about it, all the time. Unscrupulous salesperson sells XYZ to, 85-year-old grandma who doesn't need it, kind of thing. So I think you're going to find that in anything that has a sales aspect to it. But that's human nature. So you just have to weed out the bad from the good, and not become too easily cynical about it. Yeah. But also be aware of it when you're looking for that good or that service.
The goal is always to find a person that is willing to sell you something when you need it, not when they need it.
Right.
Right. And that's sales 101. And that's why I love that my 9 to 5 is my 9 to 5. There's benefits that go with that need. But sales I just love. Like the art of sales,
you love people.
The passion of sales, being somebody's person is, even at 11 o'clock at night, Chelsey, it, like, being that person is an amazing feeling. Like, I will always pick up the phone for you. I will always be that person for you.
That reminds me of something. You said it, being somebody's person, being that person.
100%.
And the conversation we had the other day, you said being that person, being the only one that can come up with that solution.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit different
It's
for
a
me.
little bit different,
I've never liked sales. When I worked in direct sales, I hated it. I'm the first person. I've been in the financial world for over 30 years now. I'm the first person that will throw my industry under the bus. I think the financial services industry has done a disservice to our clients, who we are supposed to have this great fiduciary obligation to. I think we've done a disservice to a lot of folks in a lot of ways for a lot of reasons, and I'm not going to go into all of that now. But for me, to Lindsay's point, I do enjoy it. Comes relatively naturally and easily to me, and I think this is where the financial profession overlaps with being in local government. Is I find it easy to come up with a solution to seemingly complex problems. And so when someone comes to me professionally and says, I've got all of these things happening and I don't know what to do, the solving of the problem is very enjoyable. The implementation of it, honestly, a lot of folks could do. But the initial solving of the problem is enjoyable. I do like that. There's a little spark there when I realize that I can solve this, and I don't know if anyone else could. And local government is somewhat similar. People think it's politics. I think there's a little bit of politics in it, but most of it is planning. You're planning for, how do you make sure the fire trucks roll when you need them to, kind of thing. And being able to problem solve those issues is interesting work. I don't particularly enjoy, the actual sales part of it. And that's why I've never enjoyed campaigning. How do I sell myself as the best candidate for this job? I've never really enjoyed that. I've never found that. I've always found it uncomfortable, and I've never found it particularly entertaining. I know I've met along the way a lot of people who, if they could get paid to do it, would be professional candidates. They love running for office. They love
The signs.
The signs and the stump speeches and the handshaking and the platitudes and the working a room and remembering everyone's name. And if
Rordan will never be governor.
If they could do that professionally, they would. But when it gets to holding the office and doing the work and trying to solve the problems, they're run of the mill kind of ability.
I can't do the small talk.
I'm the opposite. I like the problem solving piece, and trying to. Sales has a connotation of trying to convince someone, but sometimes there's an old saying that everybody likes to buy things, but no one likes to be sold.
That's fair.
And so when someone's looking for that good or looking for that service, the person who enjoys sales is the one who's trying to marry them up with the best solution for their need. Even that part of the process I find less enjoyable. But when someone comes and says, I've got this problem and I don't think anyone can solve it, and I get the answer for it. Now, they may or may not listen.
Oh, Rordan, you love I don't have an answer for this. Can you provide one?
Yes.
Give him a municipal law manual and he will read it for fun. But campaigning, no. And I look at him, I'm like,
It's kind of your
but
thing.
you don't want to read like just a normal book? No.
The best way to win a campaign is when you have nobody running against you, though.
Well, yeah, listen, I still remember 2007 having to walk around this village in my pink puffy coat in February.
We did knock
Door
on
to door.
we knocked on every door in the village that February. That was interesting.
And
It's almost 20 years ago.
And now there's 13 residents that don't like him and the rest do. So it's perfect. Nobody
So-
wants to run against you.
And now you're running a podcast, which is effectively recorded small talk.
no, it's not, because
It
it's
is.
one-on-one conversations.
Yeah, that's true. It's a deep dive into their profession,
Well,
which
I like to ask questions. So I'm a very curious person by nature. Like if I sit one-on-one and talk to somebody and I'll be like, oh, that's interesting. And I want to like just keep asking them questions. That's really what this is. And really it's all you guys' fault that I'm doing this. So, and Alex's
It
fault.
kind of is. Yeah.
It kind of is, yeah.
And I blame Alex,
That's fine.
but that's okay
Alex
because it worked out.
on
We
another
need to talk about this because you guys are both native to Trumansburg. And we talked about this on an earlier podcast, your origins. And I'm not from here. So we can call these two guys had to get outside of the area to marry.
Yeah. Chelsea,
I'm from here.
You're Lansing.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, let's go.
Oh my God, I can't say Lansing because T-Burg and Lansing,
Yeah, no,
forever
don't do that.
rivalry.
Okay. I was born in Elmira for some random, I don't know, the hospital there.
Okay.
I lived on East Shore.
Elmira's
Actually,
nice now.
Shush. Born in Elmira at the hospital there at Arnett. And then I lived in Lansing, like right next to Lake Watch until just before my 7th birthday. And it's only because of the restaurant, because it was literally, but I never went to school there. I went to nursery school here. My mother drove me from
Wait,
Lansing.
did you just say drived? No, you cannot cut that. Do not cut that.
Wait.
They drive to me. Are you serious?
My mother would drive me.
Yeah.
Both of my parents
They're local
Okay.
team.
grew up in T-Burg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody
Our parents.
They didn't have to
Wait,
drive very far.
Shut up.
Chelsea's grandmother, you remember, Chelsea's grandmother was good friends with my parents.
that's right.
So all of her bloodline is on this side of the lake.
Yeah.
So my whole point is that you guys are native to Trumansburg,
Yeah. So
and we're trying to get to that point.
I wouldn't.
Your
I'm
background.
I'm the least native. I'm a first generation American. My folks moved here from each of them halfway around the world in opposite directions, and they met at Cornell. So
Everybody out there just went.
traveling the globe. Are we talking flat map? Or are we talking?
well, if you start from here and go to where they came from, you're going in opposite directions the other around the world, literally.
Taiwan and South Africa.
Taiwan and South Africa, and they met at Cornell, and they settled in Trumansburg, where my mom opened her medical practice in the room in which we're sitting, actually.
Yes.
Of which my father
By the way,
went
this
to
used to be-
religiously.
An exam room. You should have seen what it was before.
Yeah.
I renovated it. Yeah.
My family has been here their entire life.
Your family used to own what is now the golf course. All the land.
Yeah, so there's two parts, right? There's the Smith part, and then there's the Potter part.
Oh yes.
The Smith part was the Strawberry Smiths. Been here for.
Why? Wait. What is the Strawberry Smiths?
so
I've
they-
never heard this.
They used
lore.
to own a strawberry farm on Perry City Road.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how Dad essentially ended up here. So Dad worked on the farm, and then he went to Oregon to go to college
What?
with his cousin Jerry. And then when his dad got in a car accident, he moved back home and took over the farm essentially from there.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know
So-
that.
I would not exist if my grandfather didn't get in his car accident, essentially.
Something good came out of something bad.
Yeah, 100%.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have
And
the
then
Potter side.
the Potter side, I mean, they're saints, most of them, not even close. The Potters owned
How much
the
land?
family farm, which is essentially the Trumansburg Golf Course.
How
And
much
then
land was
they
that?
sold it for
A
like
couple hundred acres.
they sold it for like $32.76.
And now, which is funny because
And now I'm a 2-time champion of the invitation.
Actually, you know what? I'm surprised you didn't bring your trophy to drink on.
I tried,
why didn't you
but
bring
I
it?
knew you'd be angry.
Yes.
as he's wearing his invitational hat.
A fresh one too. Not even like
I thought we could have sat back here instead of the invitational trophy.
Yeah, 100
Backlit.
It should be 100%.
So
It's a big deal.
I was just had a meeting and he was asking how much land was because I was talking to him. We were talking about how the Amish were buying up land, and
Well.
so it just sold. It just closed. You know which land I'm talking about, right?
Right around the corner from us.
Was it 12 acres? 16 acres? It was 16.63 acres. And he had it listed for 155. It sold for 150. So that was $9,019 an acre.
Yeah.
And it was mostly wooded and trails.
Meanwhile-
so that's Trumansburg land.
Well, meanwhile, in the village,
Oh, right.
we have
well,
we
in the
have
villages differently.
building lots going for $137,000 an acre.
139. Yep.
Yeah.
The 1.1 acre.
Well, we
Sold.
really liked because where I grew up, right next to the golf course, there was a piece of land that came up for sale a
Right
couple of
next
years
to-
ago that we looked at and
You weren't competitive enough.
two 2 acres and
Somebody didn't like our backup offer.
shout out to the Demerists. I'm sure they have great plans for the property.
Well, they
but-
were spot on with the value.
yeah.
Chelsea's like,
Must have had a good agent.
Chelsea's like, they had a great agent.
There's actually one that's pending. And by the time that this airs, it will have closed. That is less acreage for even more money.
That's been one of the I think most
municipal services.
interesting
Right.
things to see growing up here, and then seeing what property values are doing right now, and of course it's a big concern for a lot of folks because it's very hard
It's hard to afford it.
and homes don't come up for sale very often in the village of Trumansburg, and we meaning local government and folks like that, we can pat ourselves on the back for maintaining a village that people want to live in, although I sometimes question how much we have to do with it and how much of it is geography because of where we're located in the Finger Lakes. But it is a concern. How do we try to make things more affordable for folks to live here? It's a good problem to have relative to some parts of upstate New York where no one wants to live there and everything is really cheap, but you also don't have a reason to move there and you don't have services available.
You don't have jobs there.
You don't have jobs there. You don't have services. You don't have good schools. We have all of those things here, which is great. But it is, when I'll sometimes hear folks who, kindly referred to as some of the old timers who look at a 1 acre piece of land selling for $140,000 and think it's not worth that, or that house sold for $350,000 or $400,000. It's not worth that. And
The good news.
But,
my response,
but did someone buy it?
my response to them
Then it
is it's worth it to someone if they're willing to pay for it.
Well, somebody
And that-
was.
And the good news is it's the realtor's fault.
Yeah, well, clearly, I mean, back to the whole used car salesman part of the concept.
Chelsea's fault.
But it's certainly, it's worth it if you want to live here, and that's a constant struggle. It's a constant tug of war because ideally, you would like to have opportunity for people to live in a community that they want to live in, but that's increasingly difficult.
They say it's not worth it until they go to sell their house.
Of course.
And then
it's not worth enough.
It's worth even more. Yeah.
It is an interesting battle for like local politics. Like how do you handle that? You don't, right? The government is not going to handle a cost issue or a want issue.
Well, I mean, specifically to real estate,
supply and demand, right?
specific to real estate, the issue is, and I've said this publicly, so I don't think I'll get in trouble for saying it. You can't spend 50 years restricting how much people can build and not run into a supply issue. And so now we're at the other end of that timeline, and we have a supply issue because you've been told you can't build this, you can't build that, or if you're going to build, it has to look like this. And there are communities, and we love Skinny Atlas, New York. It's beautiful, but in the village of Skinny Atlas, which is extraordinarily expensive, they have certain rules like you can't leave your garage door open during daylight hours. So when you make a place extremely restrictive, when you make it hard for people to build, you end up running out of supply. And that's kind of where we are. So what can we do about it? Well, if it took us 50 years to get here, it'd probably take us 50 years to get out. And that's even if people are willing. You run into a lot of folks who are perfectly fine, perfectly content to let things get more expensive. And so we do what we can. We try to allow for a little bit more freedom, a little bit more opportunity. It's like, I think I heard someone compare local land use regulations around building to steering a cruise ship with an oar. It takes a long time to make changes, and the changes you make are very small and incremental, but over time it can make a difference. Mm-hmm. If you're not willing to make those changes, then you just end up pricing people out, and that's why you see population declines in states like New York and states like California and states like Massachusetts. It's not people like to blame the politics. It's really the expense. It's very expensive and you can't afford a home. But if you move somewhere and, if you don't like cold weather, it's very cold while we're recording this.
It's warm out. Real warm.
If you don't like cold weather, if you don't like cold weather, and there are states which offer, not by their own control, warmer weather, but they do offer more housing by their own control, then that's where you see population shifts. And that's something, we wrestle with not only at the local level, but at the state level, is we don't want everyone to leave. We want good school districts. We want opportunity for people to live here. But it takes some forward thinking so that we don't make it so expensive that nobody can afford to live.
You have to make it more appealing and more affordable because you have to deal with the winters that we're dealing with right now as it's minus 23 with a wind chill outside.
So it was negative 28 wind chill. So
by the way, it's nice and warm in here. So thank you.
Kennedy looked at us in the car on the way here, and we have this rule that we try not to say the word hate. And she's like, I really wish I could use that word right now. And I was like, okay,
what do you use? What context are you using?
She's like, I really hate this weather. I was like, honey, you are allowed to say that.
Justin's probably like, yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
You do. Yep. Yeah.
I mean, as soon as duck season's over, we can move on to warm weather and golf.
Just
vacation.
Has anybody checked the weather for Florida?
It's 80 degrees.
80 and sunny.
Do you know what's funny? I'm not even thinking about that.
You're not thinking about what?
Going to Florida.
You're an absolutely insane.
You are in the minority.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
In fact, you're outnumbered 3-1.
We have a countdown on the Alexa for every morning.
Every morning.
7 a.m.
Only because
Alex and Madeline aren't even going to Florida, and they're thinking about it. My mom upstairs is thinking about it. You're literally the only person in this building
there's
not
so
thinking about
much that needs to be done before that I'm not. I'm thinking about I'm like, oh, okay, so it's going to get here. It's crazy because normally for vacations, I'm a planner.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, this needs to get done. I know. Do you even know me? Like, hi.
The only person that uses Google Calendars more than you is you.
Oh my God. I cannot tell you how many times we get a Google Calendar invite and then, oh, wait, it's got to change by 30 minutes. So we get another one and this one's canceled. So we get
27 emails later. We have it locked down.
It's bad when you have your wife's Google Calendar emails on auto delete.
All we try to do is fight cancer for kids and sell houses. It's not that big of a deal.
Speaking of which, the gala is right after we get back to Florida.
That's why I'm like, okay, there's vacation, but there's so much to do before that. And there's just so much going on right now that I'm not even thinking about vacation.
Just prepping myself. And I think I've already am fully prepped and ready to go. Just knowing that we're going to leave. We're going to go sit by the pool in the sunshine. And then we're going to get back. And then we're going to be slammed. We're going to be stressed. And we're just going to go right to the grind to get it all done.
I'm pretty sure both of you will be working poolside.
This is the thing. This is why I'm not
unquestionable.
I feel like we're going to be working the entire time.
You know what's cool about a 9 to 5? Sure. I won't be working.
Justin's going to be the only one.
I will have no work.
The rest of us are going to be on the phone, and we'll be like, oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I feel like that.
This is going to be about high noons and pool and sunshine.
We were talking about it, and Kennedy's like, so do you think that Asher will play basketball with me while we're down there? So I think what I want to do is I want to go to the basketball court, because we looked at all the pictures for the resort, and there's a basketball court.
I was just going to ask. I didn't
yeah.
see one. Okay.
She's like, I think it would be really fun if we went and played basketball for a while, and then we went to swim, and then we went back to the basketball court, and then we went back to swim, and then we just did that all day long. I was like,
Pretty sure that's what Asher wants to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be his idea.
Ash and Kennedy might have a future. We don't know.
The problem is the boys will sleep. Well, Asher will get up earlier, but the boys will sleep until probably like 10 or 11 a.m.
that
We had
our
this
days
con-
Just in time for the first mimosa.
I had this conversation with Wyatt today. He's like, he said how much he was looking forward to Florida. And I said something about not sleeping it away. He's like, oh no. He's like, I want to stay up late, but I don't want to get up late. It's Florida. I want to. So
This will be interesting.
he's already thinking about it.
Okay.
So what's the big ticket item at the gala going to be this year?
Oh, yeah. I don't
Last
even know.
year was a signed Bills helmet.
Yeah.
Shout out to Josh Allen.
We have.
Shout out to Josh.
Oh, that's right. He's
Went for like $5,000.
Yes.
That's right.
Yep.
That's
Now what's the
And my dad was a finalist for that.
Well,
what's
we-
the big children's hospital? What's the big children's hospital in Buffalo that he works with a lot?
O'Shea.
O'Shea Children's Hospital.
We need to
Patricia Allen Wing.
Yep.
we need to
get them
get more closely
next year.
affiliated with O'Shea and
for the 2027.
let them know
Gala.
what good that the good work that T-Burg Takes On is
We
doing.
could take on Buffalo.
We
yeah.
actually haven't talked about T-Burg Takes On in really any of our podcasts. So anybody listening is going to be like,
You're
what?
like, what the
Yeah.
heck is
Yeah.
T-Burg Takes On?
So T-Burg, I guess we should probably spell it. It's Truman. Well, it is actually called T-Burg Takes On.
T-Burg.
I know.
Yep.
But T-Burg stands for Trumansburg.
Yep.
And it's not just for Trumansburg. It's called T-Burg Takes On Pediatric Cancer because all of the board members and the volunteers, because it is an all volunteer board,
All volunteer.
come from Trumansburg. But
And that's where it also originated.
it also originated because the founders knew their family friends, their friends had a child with pediatric cancer, and the father had to quit his job to take care of their child. And Fred, the founder, Fred Van Gissie, was like, well, buddy, how are you gonna get money? How are you gonna support? He's like, I don't know, but I'm gonna take care of my kid. I don't know. So Fred and Tracy decided to do a fundraiser for this guy, and it just snowballed, and it turned into now 16 years later.
This year.
2010,
Yep.
so
Yep.
16 this year.
T-Burg Takes On Pediatric Cancer, and to date we have raised about $600,000 and given out $400,000 to local families in New York. We're affiliated with the Galisano hospitals in Rochester and Syracuse, and we've most closely, radius-wise, geographically, have helped families in Candor and Horseheads. So we give out money directly to the families, so families that have kids with pediatric cancer
or
diagnosis.
that are getting treatment for very similar
or if they're getting cancer treatment.
cancer-like treatment.
And we give those funds directly to the family for like these secondary and tertiary expenses that they don't
And deliver.
hand delivered sometimes, for these expenses that pop up that they don't realize that come up because they have to quit their job,
Right.
and or insurance doesn't cover. So some of the stuff that we've covered, obviously first requests, there's always the first request, and we get a lot of those through the social workers at the hospital. It's an automatic $2,500 directly to the family, a check directly to the family. And then we'll get a lot of second requests, and those usually come in the form of, hey, can you help me with my bills? Or I need a wheelchair for my child to get around. Or very unfortunately, one request we did have was to help with funeral expenses.
Funeral expenses. Yeah.
That was a tough one.
I will say that having now watched you work on this for years now, I think that last part is surprisingly not as well explained as you think it is.
The secondary,
What T-Burg Takes On actually does.
Yeah, I agree.
It's front and center. T-Burg Takes On Pediatric Cancer helps raise money for families of children with pediatric cancer or similar type of diagnosis. But to the
process
to the
is
to the to
not
the to
explained.
the lay person, or even to someone who knows what it is, it sounds like, oh, you help with medical expenses. But the mission, and in the 0.001 chance that Josh Allen sees this, I think it's important that T-Burg Takes On, that its message gets out, that when you see or when you have a family going through the worst possible time I could ever imagine as a father, that you can have great health insurance, and no matter what we think of the health system in America, if you need the best technology and the best, most up-to-date, cutting edge medical care, you're not going to Uzbekistan. You're coming to the United States of America to get that medical care. And if you have good insurance, that's one thing. But if you have to quit your job,
Right.
if you've got to stay in a hotel 3 times a week, 2 hours away, and you don't have a car, these are the expenses that these families are bearing. And I think the messaging, the mission is there, but I think sometimes the messaging gets lost in we're raising money for these.
Yeah,
folks.
100%.
Well,
We're raising money for these
Yeah,
kids.
the messaging's tough, right? Because unless you've been through it, our big messaging during the gala specifically is the guest speaker.
Yeah.
It's them saying, this is what they've provided me. And that check of $2,500, nobody does. And no local organization does what we do.
Right.
They're $250 checks, they're $500 checks to send them in the mail. We have customized great human beings that drive to Rochester, Syracuse, Batavia, wherever you need it, at gas expense of their own. There are no administrative costs. It is 100%. The gas is paid for by us if we go do it. Typically we have like 3 drivers, right? Tina and Scott do it, Kyle does it, and Fred does it.
Yep.
And they pay for their own gas. There's none of that cost that it comes out of T-Burg Takes On at all.
Well, it's on our website, tburgtakeson.com.
Yeah, it's insane what costs we go through, which is fine for us, right? We're not the ones battling a terrible situation, but we use all of the funds that we get.
Yeah.
I would say I would go on a limb. I would say it's 99.9% of the money that we raise goes to the family directly.
To really tell the story of how, a local restaurant owner's friend's kid, and they kind of sketched it out on a napkin. What are you?
Essentially.
What are your expenses?
Knowing them, they definitely did it.
Absolutely, it's done on a napkin. And
Fred is probably just like, hey, let's do it here and here. All right.
yeah, and what are your non-medical expenses? Okay, how do we fix that? And now that has moved on and has benefited hundreds of families, I think is a tremendous message. And part of the reason I'm going on about it is, I think it was last year when we got the helmet. I started to think to myself, I'm Justin is a lifelong dyed in the wool Bills fan.
Yeah.
And go Bills. And there's a part of me somewhere in here that thinks maybe there's a way, somehow, some way, through connections, knowing what we know of a superstar like a Josh Allen, who's willing to give his time and his money to this particular cause. But I wonder if he knows that, yeah, medical bills are one thing and medical technology is another, but there's this huge burden on these families that no one talks about. And I'm not aware of another organization like T-Burg Takes On that is specifically and only focused on those other burdens. I think it's a message that we talk about, the generational shift in moving a mission. I think there's actually a lot of growth possibility for the mission and the word of this organization to get out.
Yeah,
I think that's
definitely the aspect of like the medical research, right? There's a huge emphasis on cancer research. There's a huge emphasis on trying to solve a cure. There's huge emphasis on all of that, which we've done for 100 years at this point. Haven't come up with a true solution to the problem. Come up with some obvious, solutions as of longevity, maybe getting rid of some stuff. And we see a success rate within the children that is pretty high. We definitely deal with some deaths within the organization paying for funeral expenses, not just one, but several.
At last year's gala, when Trisha Rennell spoke last year, and her son, I think, was it last year or the year before?
No, it was last year.
But the statistic, I don't remember if they mentioned it or if it was the previous year, that, the survival rate of certain types of pediatric cancer in the 70s was something like, 1 in 100. And now it's something like 70 to 75 in 100 survive. Yeah. So medical technology and medical research is one thing, and that's obviously necessary
and important.
Made huge strides. But all of those families still have the other expenses. There's nothing being done to alleviate that. There's no, in the FMLA world, there's no, sure, take the next year off paid. I mean, that's
right.
No, it's unpaid.
That's not a thing, right?
It protects your job.
So, and not suggesting that government is the solution to that, but there needs to be something more. And organizations like T-Burg Takes On are
no, the true solution is small organizations like ours,
private,
that believe in the mission, that push to provide that service.
And we provide that service across New York State.
There is an application online. So you go to tburgtakeson.com and scroll down and you can fill out the application. There's the initial application and then there's the secondary application.
We encourage, because there's a big pride thing, right? Like, I don't want to fill out this application for you to hand me money. Like, that's a lot of our problem is, like, it's okay for you to apply for this. Like, that, the reason why we do this is for you to apply for this.
Yeah, no matter where.
I'm not saying you're $1 million person. Like, to me, it doesn't matter. Like, if you need help paying for an insurance deductible, please, like, apply.
Or anything. Anything.
Let's solve the problem.
Yeah, there is no monetary criteria on these applications.
Nope.
It's any socioeconomic background.
Yep.
Talking about T-Burg Takes On. I know. I don't understand.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. I like the cameras went on and all of a sudden you guys went like this. And I'm like, what the? What happened?
Yeah, it became a professional episode.
I think we may
There's
have
a short right there. The cameras went on and we just...
What the?
I may have given him like the heads up, like, we don't need, poor Alex and Madeline to do that much editing. Can you just behave? And
I don't want it edited. I want to say what I want to say and just delete it.
This is a special episode. It doesn't. You guys can be.
I'm full of viral lines.
The next time we come on, it's going to be the hubby's F-bomb episode.
I think Keith beat you to it.
Yeah, when's that launching? I've been waiting for that one.
Every other one is gonna beep. Beep.
No, you don't bleep it out. You let it. You just say parental guidance needed.
We already changed the parental guidance. Yeah. We've been fine. We've been
we
good. We didn't start this one off with cocaine talk, but
that's right.
That one.
These guys don't know. I completely
Everybody
forgot
goes
about
through
that.
a cocaine phase in LA, apparently.
Oh,
but I'm waiting for the episode.
I know. I completely forgot about that. I did live in LA, and speaking of Make-A-Wish, I interned for Make-A-Wish.
You lived in LA?
Yeah.
Was it your marketing intern?
Yeah, about 6 months I lived in LA, Burbank, and I drove through Beverly Hills. I worked in Century City interned for the Make-A-Wish Foundation in Century City.
Oh. No wonder why you love T-Burg Takes On.
Yeah, Keith is great. And I feel like this is the shout-out episode. Shout-out to the coffee shed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, Keith is. I remember I met Keith because, poor guy. I feel
that one to come out.
I feel oddly responsible for the guy in some ways because he reached out to me. He reached out to me in 2017.
Was he like a rescue?
No, Keith got a wild hair and decided he was going to run for county legislator as an independent.
Oh yeah, we got the story.
Yep, we talked.
That's great.
So you got the story, and if for those who know politics in Tompkins County, it's very, very hard to run for anything
Independently.
as an independent or as a Republican, depending on where you live. And Keith had heard that I had run as an independent here in the village and wanted to know what that was all about. And I may have been overly encouraging.
Rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah, well, I tried not to sugarcoat anything, but Keith's Keith's journey was an interesting one, but it was a good one.
It makes for a great story. I mean, he's a great storyteller.
He's an exceptional storyteller. I like to say that Keith, by the time everyone watches this, you'll have seen Keith's episode. Listen to Keith and close your eyes and think John Tesh. He is. Well, he was going to be a broadcast.
So when he was on the show,
professional.
if you guys follow him on socials, I don't know if you saw him. He talked about when he was on the Best Damn Sports Show.
Yep.
And he posted his clip when he interviewed
Michael Irvin,
the
playmaker.
Did you see it on socials?
It's so good.
Well, he had like
I'm not bald. I just
almost.
don't like hair. I just like to cut it all off.
That's
and
what
put
I'm
a hat on.
saying. Dude, no shade. So defensive.
I wasn't defensive.
It all started with the used car salesman. I'm so sorry.
Listen, I have some shade throw at you for
love
the
you,
used
Justin.
car salesman bullshit.
You got it out.
This is not fair. It's just not fair. Just
Yeah,
people
I know.
out,
You hear
just
me
people
a
out there trying to make a living. You know, there's some really bad ones, but there's some really good ones.
He's stuck on it. He's grinding.
I've thought about this for weeks
You're grinding.
since that first damn episode. I was like, she threw shade at my fucking people.
Chelsea, your husband's mad at me.
I'm sorry.
Lindsay, this is as mad as I get. Not all of them are my people, by the way.
Just like not all realtors are my people.
That's boy, is that true.
However, if this
What, Chelsea?
I gotta pee. Great timing because, however, if this is your kind of people, this show, why don't you just go ahead and
Like, comment, and subscribe.
I was just gonna say go ahead and
Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe.
every time I go,
You should say that every episode.
I was just gonna
like,
open my mouth.
Kind of match his voice.
like, comment, subscribe.
I'm just
you
trying to-
should hold the fingers up. Buffalo Plus does it. If you ever watch their podcast,
Listen,
they're like, I know this is annoying, but like, comment, subscribe. Like, why have you not done it?
I'm just trying to figure
80%
out-
of you watch this shit and don't fucking like, comment. And
I'm just trying to figure out how much actual usable content Alex is going to get out of this.
I want to.
There's
I don't know if you know this, but Chelsea and I are sisters from another mister.
We and our thoughts are the same. Our attire is the same.
Just on the same page.
So, yes.
I literally just have to look at her sometimes. I'll be like, Chelsea, and she'll be like, yes, I know. And I'll be like, okay. It's kind of freaky.
Should get you guys to play that associate.
You know, it's really cool. Me and Rordan are completely different humans living the same life.
Lindsay broke down and decided we needed a cat in the house.
I didn't break down. I finally felt ready to invite
So
chaos into my life.
Never.
So
You don't have enough?
So the kitten, who's now how old is the kitten?
Like 3 months.
3 months.
4 months.
Mr. Solomon likes to ride around on our shoulders.
Orange. All
So
orange cat.
a couple of weeks ago, he was up on my shoulders in the morning, and I was in the kitchen, and he's right behind me, and all of a sudden, I feel him start to
He's grooming or
lick the back of my hair,
like full on grooming. Not just a couple, like
Yeah.
full on grooming.
You know what? I just got thinking like 11 years ago, because I got thinking about 11, because this is our 11th recording. And with Wyatt turning 16, I was like, where were we 11 years ago? And I was like, holy shit, I was reading Fox on Socks.
I was like, you were probably babysitting.
Yep.
Fox, that's right.
Chelsea,
Fox on
just so
Socks.
everybody knows, Chelsea is the world-renowned Fox on Socks world champion on how fast she can read that.
I'm a little rusty right now. It's been about 11 years since I've read. But I bet you.
But the funny part of that was that you would go watch the Hearts Children, which you were one of one.
Two.
Only one allowed.
We didn't trust many people.
And the goal was to read Fox on Socks?
Fox and Socks. Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss as quickly as possible.
How many times did my kids make you read it though? Asher was probably like,
so many times I got damn good at that book. In fact,
Ash was like the coach for America during the hockey. He was like, again. Again.
Wyatt was probably like, Asher, stop.
no, and then I sprinkled my little fairy pixie dust.
Oh, that's right. Remember magic.
We called it Magic Chelsea Dust.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Really, Justin looked at me last night. I was at the kitchen sink and I was texting and he's like, what happened? I was like,
Because so this is part of being the husband, right? Of said Realtor. It's one of those things. You guys are disgusting. You're disgusting human beings. But literally it is or and all of those mean different things. It's like, oh my God, I just put one under contract. Or it's somebody just gave me bad news. Or
It's like a
final walkthrough went to shit. Or like
It's like a meme where you hear
Yeah.
a sound and then like 5 paragraphs come out of it.
yeah, and it's just like a or a huh.
Yeah, I mean, for being a legitimately
It's ridiculous.
well, in Lindsay's case, for being a legitimately fairly good poker player, that is literally the only place, the poker table, where you can't read everything that's happening. Everywhere else, it's on your face.
so I work in the basement. This is where I'm at.
You yell. Scream's too strong of a word. You yell
I get-
profanities
I get loud.
at your laptop.
I love that.
I get loud.
You yell profanities
You guys are the
at your laptop
wasn't-
as
I was
if
typing
as
very-
if the real estate agent or attorney or client on the other side of the screen
You
can
know
hear
you're married to a realtor when or it's a
It's like you watching the Bills. You yell at the TV. Do you think that they can hear you on TV?
goddamn right they can. Every
I'll
time
be-
Josh hears me, I know he does.
I'll be in the other room. I'll be in the other room minding my business and I'll hear, "You stupid son of a..." And I know she's hitting reply to an attorney or another agent
or the Steelers.
well,
Oh no, you can tell when I'm watching the Steelers. I'm in the living room and it's very loud. That's louder.
I don't know if it's louder.
So being part of the husband category of this said job that we have that we don't get paid for, you got to be a temperature gauger.
I
Like
hand
you
the check
just
over to the
know,
finance guy.
like when Chelsea, I work in the basement, 9 to 5 per se. And based off of the tempo of her steps down the stairs, I know what's coming.
Wait, I feel like now.
Chelsea keeps Justin in the basement.
Wait,
I leave him in the dungeon. I'm glad I let you out today.
I feel like you would be a hell of a real estate agent.
and there
I
it
would.
is.
I can't
And
do-
there it is.
You're 100%
I
right.
feel like your background in sales and your enjoyment of the process. See, that's the thing for me is I like solving problems. I don't like the aspects of the walking someone through the solution piece.
I love that.
And that's what you love. And your enjoyment of that.
Can you
and
imagine
knowledge
living
of the
your
industry.
life with 2 realtors in the house, though? That sounds like hell.
That sounds like a you problem, not a me.
That sounds like absolute hell.
But
Only if you make it. help.
don't close any doors. I'm thinking down the road. I'm not thinking about your next
Yeah,
venture.
listen, I'm not signing up right now.
That could be interesting.
Oh.
I feel like this has gone well.
No, I'm just
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at he's selling. He's like, oh,
I just don't want. I just don't want later to be like, we should have talked about.
Did you?
Oh, we're always
No,
gonna have
no,
that.
we want that because then there's another one.
And then Lindsay's gonna say, write that down.
You're still assuming we're going to get invited back.
I don't care.
Husband's part 2.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a movie, like a horror movie.
That was the Hangover part 2.
Did you say a horror movie? That's inappropriate. You can't say that.
Let me just say that reminds me of a story. Let me tell you something. That reminds me of a story.
If that reminds you of a story.
It does. It reminds me of it reminds me of a story of kind of how I got to Ithaca. So I used to work at this restaurant that was attached to a professional summer stock theater in Pennsylvania called Green Gables and the Mountain Playhouse. And one of the shows, and I used
Mountain Playhouse
The mountain-
sounds professional.
of course, how many high noons is he in? He's going to take it that way.
Were you talking about that horrors movie?
So the point is,
What'd you say about the second husband? Carry on.
they put on
She introduces me. She introduces me as her first husband, and I'm like,
I want to introduce you to my ex-boyfriend.
want to introduce you. Want to introduce you to my first ex-husband.
I want to introduce you to my first husband, honey. So my point is, anybody else want to interrupt me?
In Green Gables.
Green Gables, the Mountain Playhouse. So it was a professional summer stock there. I worked at the restaurant. I was the hostess. And so you had to answer the phone because sometimes they would call the restaurant to ask, they would have dinner and go to the theater. And they would hire actors, sometimes from Ithaca College, because it is a acting college. And it started out as a conservatory, so musical acting, right? And that's how I learned about Ithaca College. And that's how I went to Ithaca College. But I digress. I used to answer the phone, and one of the plays that they put on one summer was Little Shop of Horrors. So every time I answered the phone, they're like, what's playing this week? Or because, you know, the plays would run a week or 2 weeks. I would literally have to go, Little Shop of Horrors. Like, you really had to
You
enunciate.
didn't want to say whores.
Because they were like, oh, Little Shop of Horrors. And they're like, what?
Because if we were answering the phone, it'd be like Little Shop of Horrors. What? You heard me. Little Shop of Horrors.
And that's why I said it reminds me of a story.
Yeah.
So it's like 2 stories in one. You got a twofer. You got a 2-for-1 there. That's how I made it to Ithaca College, because that's where I learned about Ithaca College, because they hired an actress from Ithaca College to
Well, at least
one
you
summer.
didn't go to Ithaca College because of a shop of horrors.
Yeah.
Because they hired an actress to play in Little Shop
That's
of
good.
Horrors.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. So,
You're in the exit.
Park school.
Park School. I didn't go to be an actress. I went to the
Shout out
Park
to
School.
the Park school.
Well,
Actual hubby stories.
Well,
you-
that's the next episode. You can't.
This one time.
We can't give it all up.
Batman Camp. Well, if you like what you see, then stop right there and hit subscribe. And thank you for watching Under Contract Taking Back Up.
Thank you to our husbands for being here,
Keeping it
always.
appropriate.
keeping it appropriate for at least the first
most
one.
It won't always be that way.
We're aware. And for being our sounding board, our therapists, our problem solvers. You really help us navigate a lot.
Our
in this.
financial planners.
Yes.
That's not me. Rordan is both of your friends.
Our hype men.
Yep.
Merch man.
Hey, I try.
Our golf tournament planners.
That is something we're good at. Can we make that
we
a
are good at
profession?
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Round of applause for the people behind the scenes that prop us up.
Thank you.
Insert golf clap.